Nate Diaz is looking for a fight, and these are great freaking news for the UFC because he's been calling out the fighters and also the UFC as the company for a while now. So who should Nate Diaz fight next? Because he's someone that he's gonna be always entertaining and always a solid fight against top contenders. Like it or not, Nate Diaz is here to offer good fights. So who should we fight next? I believe there is a lot of fighters. They've been with Dustin Poirier has been calling Nate Diaz out because Dustin Poirier is locked in a very expensive contract by the UFC. So the UFC will want to try to use him against very known names, and Nate Diaz is one of those names. So I believe that Dustin Poirier versus Nate Diaz could make a lot of sense. That could be a great fight. Also, Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor, as a McGregor's comeback fight. That's another great big selling fight. A trilogy. Holy shit. We've been talking about it for years now and it never happened. Then maybe BMF rematch between Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz. Because Jorge Masvidal just got dominated by Colby Covington, so he could use another, and he's also locked in an expensive contract with the UFC, so it also makes sense. Or hear me out. What if we put together a Kamzat freaking Chimaev versus Nate freaking Diaz? Wouldn't that be a fun fight? If we have one guy saying, smash everybody, kill everybody, brother. And then we have with Nate Diaz with his lisp and his Stockton accent, like, yeah, whatever. So I can't even, like, Nate Diaz is just so original, you cannot even fake it, like, having his accent. And Kamzat Chimaev versus Nate Diaz, holy shit. That fight would have sold out states, not arenas, but the entire states. That could be a great fight. So what do you guys think? Like, who should Nate fight next? Because so far, because he's a big name, and the UFC is gonna only match him against yet another big name. And right now we have Jorge Masvidal as a BMF rematch. Jorge is coming out of loss. I could see that happening. We have Dustin Poirier coming out of loss, wanting to move up in a weight. That could be a good sign if we can if we see if Dustin actually can handle welterweights. Then we have Khamzat freaking Chimaev and Nate Diaz. Like, that fight is great. And we have Gilbert Burns calling out Nate Diaz. I mean, Dana White said publicly that Gilbert Burns earned a big fight after his performance versus Khamzat Chimaev, and especially because as a ranked number 2, he took on someone who was not ranked that high at all, and no one else wanted to fight Khamzat Chimaev. So Dana White said basically that Gilbert Burns earned that fight. And Gilbert Burns versus Nate Diaz, that's the maybe only fight I don't really like. I think Gilbert Burns can use someone else, maybe like Jorge Masvidal or something else. I don't like Gilbert Burns versus Nate Diaz. They just don't match very well in terms of styles and also in terms of personalities. When you match someone, you want to have a good story and everything. And Gilbert Burns is a humble guy and a killer inside of the cage, and he just doesn't match as well, right? Or Colby freaking Covington versus Nate Diaz. Holy shit, right? Can you imagine the trash talk, the conference between those two guys? Dude, Nate Diaz is such a great name. If the UFC doesn't use him, it's gonna be a shame because fans want to see Nate Diaz freaking fight. Fans want to see more of Nate Diaz in the press conference. Fans want to see Nate Diaz. And there are a lot of big names in the welterweight. They are on a standby or just want another fight because they just fought like a month or two ago. And those big names are Khamzat freaking Chimaev, Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal, and there is also Dustin Poirier. And maybe somewhere in the back is also Conor McGregor limping back and forth. Those 5 guys, each and one of them, is a great and amazing fight for Nate freaking Diaz. So what are we waiting for, Dana? Make that fight happen. Holy shit. We want to see that. I'm buying that pay-per-view. Are you kidding me? If Nate fights any of these guys, I'm buying the pay-per-view just because of all the stories, personalities, and fight at all. Like holy shit. I want to see that. And I want to see Nate fight. I don't want to see Nate fight some nobody or like someone who is not entertaining, you know. Like when they put him against Leon Edwards, I was like, freaking Leon, like, you know, it was like we didn't even know they were really fighting. You know, we want to see someone entertaining. And all these five guys have it. And they are all free to fight. Let's do it. What do you guys think? Who should Nate Diaz fight next? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you next one. Cheers.